Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Jonathan Palach.
Your Honor, this is the no-name booking.
Well, oh. I have a public defender there, I see. Yep. Okay. All right, so you're charged with aggravated assault on a peace officer, and the state's asking for a $5,000 bond. Counsel, did you want to be heard?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor. I just want to note that, is it Mr. Falaci?
Yes.
Is indigent and he was assessed at a level 2. My understanding from the pretrial workup is that he is homeless. He has a short criminal history, certainly nothing local. We are asking for a chance on pretrial release or just a low bond, certainly lower than the state's ask given his circumstances. So either pretrial release or a $1,000.
Yep. Yeah, I will, since he does not have anywhere to live, I'm going to appoint the public defender, no alcohol or illegal drugs, $1,000 bond, release to pretrial services if posted. And the preliminary hearing will be February 19th at 1:30. And then, sir, you've got a misdemeanor, criminal trespass, littering, refusal to give your true name, and drinking in public. So I'm going to order you not to possess any alcohol, not to return to the incident location. And you got to come back to city court on March 21st at 9 o'clock. If you're still in custody, then you'll have a public defender on this misdemeanor charge too, and they'll figure out where you are. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, they have it, pretrial has it. But I will. FA, you want me to put it in the minute entry? Let's see if that's right. FAILL. No, that's right. Okay, I stuck it in the notes section. What's your name?
Don Toro.
I'm sorry, what?
Don Toro.
Don Toro? Is that right? No.
Yeah.
Okay. We were just. Okay. Mr. Toro, you are charged with shoplifting, trespass, and possession of drug paraphernalia from the 6th. And I know you already have a hold on something, but on this one, I'm going to release you. So if you're out, you have to come back to South Tucson City Court on February 25th at 10 o'clock. And if you're not, they'll look for you. I'll note that you have a hold and they'll look for you and do something with you then. Okay?
I'm gonna see right here. On my first seat, I see right here, the rest you can go around. That's
That's it.
cool.
Did we miss Mr. Padilla on purpose?
In the chair?
Yes.
What's your name, sir?
Richard
Your full names.
Han, H-A-H-N, Charles.
All right, you're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. I am going to order you not to drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And you need to come back to court on March 11th at 8:30 to Sarita City Court, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, then you're released. You all, did we skip Padilla for a reason? Are we saving him?
No, we're grabbing him, Your Honor. He just didn't come yet.
Okay. What's your name?
Sean Randall.
All right, Mr. Randall, you are charged with domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and irregular assault. And if I release you, it's going to be with the condition that you have no contact with Heidi Randall and you don't return to her residence or work. Can you comply with those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, and you need to come back to Sarita City Court on November 3rd at 8:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest, all right?
Sure.
All right, then you're released with those conditions. What's your name?
Becca Sandoval.
All right, I've got a warrant for you out of South Tucson for a criminal trespass. And I'm gonna release you on that one, and don't go back to the incident location, and you need to come back to court on February 25th at 10 o'clock, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. But then I have multiple cases, 2019 and a 2024 case for you on city court. Misconduct involving weapons, drug paraphernalia, criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia. So I'm going to appoint the city or the city public defender to represent you, hold you on a $250 bond, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and your next court date will be February 18th at 1:45. And that's it now. What's your name?
Joshua Anthony Burke.
All right, so you're charged with domestic violence, criminal damage, and 3 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. Do you have any guns?
No.
All right, I'm going to order you not to possess any firearms while the case is pending, not to consume or possess any alcohol, and commit no acts of domestic violence. And you need to come back to court on March 11th at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then you're released with those conditions. Mhm. Yes. Yes, who knows what I was doing. All right, what's your name?
Aaron Rolla.
All right, Mr. Gurley, you have, let's see, well, failure to appear from 2024, 2023, 2022, drug paraphernalia, shoplifting, prescription drug possession. So I am going to hold you on a $500 bond and appoint the public defender to represent you. And your next court date's going to be February 18th at 1:45.
This is from 2023, 2022. I was given time served the last time I was here.
Huh, okay. Well, I guess you can talk to your public defender about it, because I've got a lot of these cases, so.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get it, I kept clicking on it and I wanted it to go away. All right, what's your name?
Nisa Hernandez.
Okay. You are charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and minor in possession of alcohol and that. I am going to order you not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, not to commit any acts of domestic violence. And you need to come back to court on March 24th at 9 o'clock, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Then you're released with those conditions. What's your name?
Daniel Cordova.
Right. The public defender there.
You thought that this was a good idea.
You want to waive the reading of the charges?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay. And the state's asking for a $10,000 bond.
Your Honor, we're asking for pretrial release or certainly a much lower bond than the state's ask. This Mr. Cordova was assessed at a level 1. He is 21 and quite low on the NCA and FTA scales. He's a lifelong resident who lives with his family. He is currently unemployed and he has no prior convictions. In reading through the interim complaint, it doesn't seem that he knows the alleged victim. So I think that pretrial services with a strong no contact order would be sufficient in this case. But again, certainly not the high bond that the state is asking.
I will appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Cordova, order him not to have any contact with the victim, not to return to any of the incident locations or her residence. No alcohol or illegal drugs, $5,000 bond, release to pretrial services if posted, and the preliminary hearing will be February 19th at 1:30. And that's it, council. What's your name, sir?
Elijah King the third.
All right, you're charged with unlawful use of means of transportation and possession of a dangerous drug. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, order you not to have any contact with the victims, don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to release you to pretrial services, so you need to report to them and come to court March 3rd at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's it, Council. You guys are done.
Pretrial services and you release. Everyone saw them with you. Okay, of course, take care.
I don't see that.
What's your name?
I'm fine, sorry.
All right, Ms. Farnsworth, I have a bunch of files for failure to appear in city court, mental health court, and you've got, let's see, is this a new one from today? Yeah. No question.
Yes.
Criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and then a bunch of warrants. And so they've muted you because I'm going to just give you a public defender. Order you not to go back to any of the incident locations. And no alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm gonna hold you on a $500 bond, and Judge Blue will see you on February 13th at 1:45. And that's it, ma'am. What's your name?
Benjamin Alvarado.
All right, you are charged with weapons misconduct. And I guess everybody's asking for pretrial services release, so I guess that's what I will do. Appoint the public defender, no firearms. Do you have any other guns at home?
Glock 19, Gen 5.
All right, you need to turn it in to the sheriff's department within 48 hours of being released.
Okay.
You'll see this on the order that you get a copy of, so bring that with you to turn it in to them, okay? And then they keep it until the case is over.
Yes.
Okay, so no guns, surrender your guns, report to pretrial services, public defender, and your next court date will be March 3rd at 1:30. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest, okay?
Yes.
All right, oh wait, don't go. I have a city court case for you. You have a city court case of driving under the influence of alcohol and a couple of civil tickets. So no alcohol or illegal drugs, don't drive without a valid license, and come to court for your pretrial on that one. On city court, you'll get a lawyer if you come to court at the next court date, March 4th at 2:00, or a warrant will issue for your arrest, okay?
Okay.
All right, and that's it then.
Have a seat out there. Thank you.
What's your name, ma'am?
Adrian, Pong?
All right, I've got a warrant for you out of Superior Court, failure to appear when you were released to pretrial services on September 24th, narcotic drug case and drug paraphernalia, and counsel, this bond is $500 on the warrant. Do you want?
Right. I was going to ask the court to consider that Ms. Stone have one more opportunity on pretrial release. This is a level 2 not violent event. It seemed that perhaps the court didn't have a good address for her on file. She has no priors. So I am asking, that the court give her one more opportunity on pretrial release.
Oh, all right. All right, so I will release you to pretrial services. One more shot at this, ma'am. You need to check in with them tomorrow, check in with the public defender, and come to court on February 18th at 1:30 for an arraignment, or another warrant will issue for you. You understand?
I understand, thank you.
And then you've got a shoplift failure to appear out of city court. So I'm going to order you not to go back to the incident location and come back to city court on March 7th at 2:00, or a warrant will issue for your arrest, okay?
Okay.
All right, then.
Have a seat out there, man.
We're gonna have to come to your open.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me.
What's your name?
Jeff Ewing?
All right, Mr. Ewing, you're charged with felony fright from law enforcement officers, and counsel, the state's asking for a $15,000 bond.
Your Honor, I'm asking for pretrial services or a lower bond, given that he is 52 and a lifelong resident, and it appears that we don't have a good address for him, or he may be homeless. It seems like he has a short criminal history and had recently been discharged from probation. There was no indication that that was unsuccessful. So for those reasons, we are asking for pretrial release or a lower bond than the state's asked.
Okay, well, this was a pretty dangerous case according to the allegations. And there's also a warrant for a DUI. So I am going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Ewing. No Driving without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs, $15,000 bond if posted, pretrial services release. And the preliminary hearing will be February 19th at 1:30. Also, for the DUI, I will hold Mr. Ewing on $1,000 bond and appoint Adam Waters to represent.
I'm not gonna pay anything for all these long you fucking want.
Yeah, well, then you could stay there, that's fine. February 11th at 1 PM on the misdemeanor on the DUI.
Wait,
Wait, sit down. Sit
sit
down.
down.
All right, I'm done with him.
You can not, you try to talk this. And we're gonna talk about it.
Stop waving your hands around.
Right.
Lane. Have a seat in the chair.
What's your name?
Jason Lane.
All right, Mr. Lane, you are charged with resisting arrest, aggravated assault on a police officer. And counsel of the state's asking for a $7,500 bond. Did you want to be heard?
I am asking for pretrial release, Your Honor. He's low on the NCA and FTA scales. He's a lifelong resident and gainfully employed. I would assume by the allegations that he does not know the victim who sustained minor injuries. There is one similar prior. It's his only prior, and it was later designated a misdemeanor. That's from 2014. Just given that he was assessed at a level 1, Your Honor, that he is employed, that he, does not know the victim, I am asking that you consider pretrial release.
I am going to appoint the public defender for Mr. Lane, order him not to have any contact with the victims, not to return to the incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs, a $2,500 bond, pretrial services if posted, and February 19th at 1:30 will be the preliminary hearing. That's it. What's your name?
Even Lapata,
All right, Mr. Lapata, you are charged with aggravated assault on a peace officer, 3 counts, and aggravated assault with a dangerous weapon on a peace officer. And then we've got a new domestic violence case too. So counsel of the state is asking for $50,000 bond, and I think Mr. Lapata already has a DOC hold, is that right?
He does, Your Honor. I think given the hold, we are just asking for a lower bond. It appears that he was homeless, unemployed. He is a longtime resident, but he, it seems from the allegations that he is struggling. So for those reasons, we are just asking for a lower bond than the state's ask. I think $23,000. I mean, he's got the DOC hold, so not much for him to do.
Your Honor, that hold is going to lift at the end of April, so it's not a situation where he's just going to, wait to go back to prison, type of thing.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Goodman. All right, I'm going to hold Mr. Lapata on a $35,000 bond, pretrial services if posted, no contact with the victims, no return to the incident locations, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no guns, and February 19th at 1:30 will be the preliminary hearing. And then on Mr. Lapata's new domestic violence violation of a court order, I will appoint the public defender's office, city public defender's office on that one. No contact with Ms. Berryman and no return to her residence. Comply with any kind of court orders. and a $2,500 bond on that one. And I will set it for a hearing on February 19th at 1:30, but we probably won't see you that day. Your Ms. Rosenbluth will come out to talk to you, I'm sure, but we'll probably just review it that day, Mr. Lopata, to see what's happening with your felony. All right. And
I'm so sorry. Did you order the public defender be appointed on the felony charge?
I think I did, but I'm not.
Okay.
sure I said that. Let me look, make sure. I'm sure I did because it's checked for me already. Yes, public defender. So,
Okay, thank you.
all right. And that's it for Mr. Lopata.
Out there. Ortiz.
What's your name, ma'am?
Marla Ortiz Lopez.
Okay. You are charged with aggravated driving under the influence. Counsel, the state's asking for a $10,000 bond. And
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ortiz Lopez just had a question for me, so I wanted to answer that, but I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just while she's talking, I looked into the ag assault prior and it appeared, if I'm remembering correctly, she's on 2 separate felony probations. And the ag assault did involve some sort of intoxication as well,
Yeah, it looks like there's an extreme DUI misdemeanor that she's on probation for.
as well as a felony. There's a felony and a misdemeanor count on that one case.
Your Honor, I just want to note that Mrs. Ortiz Lopez is 21 years old. The concerns that she expressed to me are that she is currently employed. I would just note that she, is at a level 1. She's low on the FTA. Although it's recent, she has a short criminal history. I was just trying to set some expectations with Mrs. Lopez. We are asking for pretrial release or a low bond of $2,500.
Considering she's on probation with a DUI, I'm not inclined to do that. And so I am going to appoint the public defender. No alcohol or illegal drugs, don't drive without a valid license, $10,000 bond, pretrial services if posted February 19th at 1:30 will be the preliminary hearing. Oops, Jackie. Do you show a warrant for a DUI on Miss Pride? They're saying free trial says she has a warrant for DUI and city court. Maybe not city court. Doesn't look like our number. Actually, maybe that's your, do you have a warrant for DUI? Somebody has a warrant for DUI. Maybe it's on, maybe it's yours. Oh, I know. It's a failure to.
Right.
Yeah. What's your name, ma'am?
Monica Pride.
You're charged with aggravated driving under the influence. And the state's asking for a $7,500 bond, counsel.
Your Honor, I'm asking for pretrial release or a low bond, given that she was assessed at a level 2. She is a lifelong resident who lives with her wife and her daughter, and she receives social Social Security disability benefits. Pretrial services was able to confirm with her wife that, she's welcome back home, that her wife can take third-party custody of her and ensure her appearance at future court dates. Given those reasons, I see that she has one felony prior from 2018. I would ask the court to consider pretrial release for a $2,500 bond.
All right, I will.
Okay, and she's also noted to me that she has upcoming doctor appointments for medical conditions she is currently suffering from.
I will appoint the public defender to represent Ms. Pride. She didn't comply with her conditions on her DUI sentence. So I'm reluctant to just. So I am going to order her not to drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs, a $5,000 bond, pretrial services if the bond is posted, and February 19th at 1:30 will be the preliminary hearing. And also she has this misdemeanor DUI that she didn't comply with. And Jackie, I don't understand what this reappoint the attorney or withdraw the attorney. What does that note on there mean for her? Okay. All right. So on that DUI, with the failure to comply, I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you, Caitlin Waters, and hold you on a $500 bond. And they will see you on the 11th of February at 1 p.m. All right, and that's it. No, wait, it's not it. She does have a deed. She has a city court case. I apologize. The city court case is the assault and the disorderly conduct. I am going to release you on that one, ma'am. And set it for March 21st at 9 o'clock. And if you're out, we'll give you a different date. But if you're not out on your other cases, then a public defender in the city will represent you. Okay, I think that's it. What?
Thank you. Lydia. Let's have a seat.
What's your name, sir?
Adrian Daniel Padilla.
Okay. I'm seeing on a warrant out of South Tucson City Court for theft and disorderly conduct and drug paraphernalia from January of 2024. Do you know when you're gonna get out of custody?
Next month sometime.
Hmm. Okay. So now,
Felonies? Are those felonies or
no,
misdemeanors?
those are misdemeanors. You're not gonna get out until March, you don't think?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't I hold you on $100 bond so you can get some credit for these misdemeanors, okay? And then I'll give you a lawyer in South Tucson can see you that way, okay?
Sure.
So I will set it for February 10th at 10 o'clock is when the South Tucson judge will see you, and I will appoint Michael Vaughn to represent you. And that way you're getting credit for that too while you're there. All right? And that's it, sir. That's all I'm seeing on tonight. Thank you, guys.